Hi everyone, welcome to another Analytica video. So in this video, we're going to explore an end-to-end data analytics project using Kaggle dataset to uncover what really makes a YouTube video go viral. So we will walk through the full pipeline on Databricks using tools like Pandas, PySpark, Scikit-learn, and Plotly for powerful analysis and visualization. So by the end, you will see how we clean the data, explore key trends, and even build a simple, it's not an advanced one, it's a simple machine learning model to predict video virality. So let's get started. So here I am on Databricks free edition again, and I need to actually, so currently I have downloaded the data that we need from Kaggle. So like you can see, I will actually give this link in description so you can also download yourself. So after I download it, now the task is actually to get this data in a catalog. So here I have my catalog and I need to create a new schema. So I'll add data and upload files to volume. So before that, let me click this, select this workspace catalog, and after that I need to create a new schema, let's say for YouTube. And in that schema, I'm going to create a new volume to store the files, CSV files, and I will name it as Kaggle. It's managed volume, and now I need to actually upload or drop those files to this volume, and I'll do that one by one. So this is from Kaggle we got like the data in this formats, like for each different countries. Let's say this is for Canada, and we have like a category ID JSON file. I'll show you like what kind of data it has, and then we have a video CSV file with the data related to that different YouTube videos. Now it's for Germany. So from France, Britain, India, US, and Mexico. Okay, so here we are. We have now let's say like more than 5 countries data, and then now let's upload. Okay, because this video's CSV is a little big, so it's taking time. So in the meantime, let me go to the workspace and try to refresh, so you'll be able to see YouTube. And here we have Kaggle. So okay, I think while it's getting uploaded, we can start with creating new notebook. So let's see. YT data analysis. Okay, so what we need to do in the beginning, need to import all the required modules and different functions or any kind of things that we require. So I'll import OS, and then now comes the part for PySpark. I will PySpark.sql, I'll import functions f, and then types. I'll import long type and integer type. And I will run this. In the meantime, okay, it's about to get finished, so okay, so this first code has been run successfully. So now let's go to the next part. So here I will actually get data from video CSV files, and let's start with creating variable using dbutils.fs.ls, and here I will give the volume location that we created. So it's volume workspace YouTube Kaggle, and I'll create a data frames list because there are actually many countries that we need to join them together. So I'm actually creating a list, and then once we and then appending to that list each country, and then later we will make it one data frame. So now I'll use a for function for video files. Let me create a variable with file.name, and I will check all those, because if you see this uploaded files, those video files ending with videos.csv, and then category files ending with category id.json. Okay, so before that, now the data has been uploaded, and I would like to show you how it looks. So let's post it here, and then let's go to catalog, go to YouTube Kaggle, and when I click on videos, so this is a CSV file with lots of information we have about different videos. So there is actually video ID, trending date, title, channel title, category ID, publish time, likes, dislikes, comment count, so video error. So there are lots of info about videos. And if you look at the category ID JSON file, it's a JSON file with lots of items, and the data that we're looking for is actually this title, which is actually the category name. So if we look at this item, it has film and animation category name, and then if you go to the snippet here, it's actually autos and vehicles. So this is the data that we will actually take from this JSON files. So now let's go back to our workspace YouTube data analysis, and here I would like to mention what I'm going to do in this for loop. So we will actually combine all country data to list, and then we will also add one column for the country code. So we'll check if CSV files ending with videos.csv, and if it is, what we're going to do is we will actually store its first two letters to a variable called country, because the first two letters of those CSVs are usually the country code, and we will store that as a new column, and then we will read that data to So we'll keep the option for header to be taken into account. Header true. Likewise, info schema. And then CSV from file.path. And now that we need to add country column using with column, and then we will name it as country, and then we will use the variable value from country. After that, we will append this df data frame to the list that we already created. So, and once we have all the country data frames appended to this data frames list, next step is to combine all country data. And how we are going to do is we will actually create a row data frame called row df, and we will save the first in the list, and then later we will using for df and data frames from 1, we will actually using the union, we will combine all data. And it's good to actually display and see how the data looks in the row df. So next step that I'm going to do is display row df dot limit only the top 5 rows. So now I think we are good, and let's run. Okay, so here you can see that we have in row df like video ID, trending date, title, channel title, category ID, and in addition to all these columns from CSV, we have country also. So here only, because only 5 rows have been displayed, only the top country or the one country has been displayed. So now let's move on to the next part, that is actually read JSON data to get category. So because we have the JSON data also in different files for different countries, what we're going to do is we'll actually create a new list like before, and then use for fn video files, because this video files is the location where we have actually kept our all CSV files and JSON files. So we'll use the same location. So what we're going to check is for fn video files, we'll actually take its name, f.name. Okay, and now we will only process when the f name ends with category ID, id.json. Country will again take the country, because we'll store that value as a new column. And then after that, we'll read the data, read spark.read.option. Because it's a JSON file, we will actually take into account reading multi-line. And then JSON f.path. After that, tf equal to, because it's a JSON file, again we need to get the data from its items. So using this explode function, sorry, here Okay. And after that, what we are really looking for is actually extract category ID, category name, and country columns. So we will select only those required using df.select. Item.id, which is actually of will actually, because it's a category ID, it's of an integer type. And then we will take the name, and the name, like I showed before, it actually is stored in item in snippets and its title. So it's going to be item.snippet.title.alias. It will be called category name. And like before, we will add a new column with column as country and f.lit country. So that's it. And okay, sorry, I forgot to add this. So once this has been done, what we're going to do is we'll actually append, like before, we will append this to all category df.append of to df, append df. And later, like we did before, we will actually union all country data frames. If so we will assign this category df to the first in the list, and then after that we will union df. So once it's done, we will actually display so why we actually like put this if to actually see if the list is empty or not. And if it's empty, then what we're going to do is not empty. That's what we check here. And then if it's empty, we'll print a message saying that it's no category JSON files. Okay, so let's run. Oh, sorry, f name. Okay, so here we are with category df having category ID, category name, and country. So this is what we need. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do is, of course, to join so that we get category name along with the row df data. join to join videos or the row df with category df. So that's what we are going to do, and row df is equal to row df dot join category df on. So the variable that the columns that we will check are category ID and also country, and it's going to be a left join. So after that, let me just okay, so let's run. Okay, so here we are with category ID, and also like we get the category name. So you say comedy entertainment, which looks fine. So next thing that we're going to do is clean data, or it's usually how it's done is like bronze to silver. So it's we'll create a silver data frame after cleaning up some data that we need to use from this CSV data. So processing data that we're going to do. So the first step, so let's say cleaning up data. Sorry. Okay, and the first step, so there is look for the date column, and here we have a trending date, and for this trending date we may have some invalid dates also. So we'll have to clean up that first after trim trending date, and keep only valid patterns. So valid pattern, as you see from the Kaggle set, it's actually yydd.mm, and here I'll create a new clean df from row df, and I will add a new column that is trending date. But it will be after the trimming f.call trending date. Yes. And also I will filter whether it follows the same format of yydd.mm. So how we are going to do is we'll actually check trending date column, and then we'll use this r-like function to see if it follows an expression that we're going to list now, which is so 2 letters, the first, and then T. Okay, so this is what so it will check if the trending date follows this yydd.mm, and after this we'll keep only valid date strings. And next thing that we're going to do is actually we will give we will convert it to a proper date, like let's say like ddmmyy, with 4 letters for year, by actually concatenating 20 with this YY. So that's what we're going to do, and we will actually store it as YYYDMMDD so that it's easier and it's better, its readability is improved. So that's what we're going to do is we'll actually use on the same column, that is trending date, we will convert it to a proper date format. Yes. And for this we will actually use a silver DF, and we will work on clean DF, and we will add a new column. And we use trending date. And so the column name is going to be trending date, and after that we will use a to date expression so that it will convert it to a date format. And before that, like I mentioned, when we need the year in YYYY, so for this we will use the concat ws function, so where we will f dot, so we'll concat, so the expression, the date format that we're going to look is YYYMMDD. So for this we will have to of course concat this hyphen, and that's where we have put here concat. And before that we will actually look for we will concat the year part, because like I mentioned here, the year part is only of two characters, and we need to make it a 4 by what we will manually concat it with f.lit 20. So we'll look for the first two characters, and that is actually year. And then the next part is month, so it will check the substring of the trending date, and from 7th, because the pattern is YY, DD and MM, so it's from the 7th place, the next two characters, and it's going to be month. And next part is date, the day part, so the trending date, and it's going to be 4th and 2, great, and day. And next we will convert this to a YYY MMDD format. Okay. Okay, so this looks fine, and what we can do is we can actually display and see if we get the right data. Let's put only 2. Okay, and let's run this. Okay, so we get employed substring, trending date. Okay, so here we get an error, type error, column object is not callable. Okay, when I look at this, yes, I think this is where it actually got wrong. So it needs to be f.concat20 and then f.substring. So let's see if this can solve it. Great. So I think we have now a date format. The trending date is now in date format and it actually shows fine. It's a YYYMMDD. So which is great. And I think our trending date is now fine. So now what we are going to do is we will select, or we will create, or let's say like select only required columns so that we don't have to get all the columns in silverdf. So how we do that, silverdf equal to silverdf.select, and so we will require video ID. Fine. And here title, trending date, fine, and then we'll require description. Okay, dot column channel title. Okay, publish time, tags, okay, so we have to actually get these views, likes and comment count, so which are actually important. So currently views are, if you see, in string format, so we'll have to change that to long type. So I will cast long type and we'll call it as view count. Likewise, I think I will discard dislikes for now, and I'll use comment count, cast of long type, and alias comment count. Okay, so we got like likes count, long type, and then comment count, long type, which is fine. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Okay, I think we missed a bracket here. Yeah, okay. So let me display okay, so let's see. Yeah, so now it looks fine. It looks better with, we have all these counts, and then we have reduced number of columns to those columns which you really require. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do is we will actually need to do some filling. So how we do is filling some missing numeric columns, if any. So let's say like if there are some values missing in for view count like count and comment count, so it's already prompted. So we will actually use silverdf, not exactly fill NA, but we will fill it with yes. So we'll use a coily so that it's actually turns in 0 instead of like not NA, instead of NA. So how we do this, we'll actually use the coilies function f dot call of c f dot let of 0. Okay, so I think that's it. And now let's okay, so that's it. We will actually, like, when there are no values for these 3 columns, it will actually get replaced with 0. So I think we have now the silver data frame ready at the silver stage after some little bit of cleaning that we have done. And now what I'm going to do is save this silver df to a delta table. And for that, silver df dot write dot format, it's going to be delta, and the mode is going to be override. Option of merge schema to be true. And save as table, and we'll keep the table name youtube.silver trending, and we'll print silver table created successfully. Okay, great. So the next step that we're going to do is maybe we can also see here when we refresh this, when we go to YouTube, so you can see that there is a table already created, which is great. Now the next step is to create, using Plotly and Pandas, create some visualizations so that we can actually visualize how the data looks, let's say like in a bar chart or in scatter plot. So just see or view the data in a better way. So for that, we'll actually use the view pandas SPD, and also we will import Plotly, and we'll use Plotly Express SPX. Then the next step is we will actually convert this silver df using to Pandas. This we were actually doing in PySpark before, so now we'll actually convert that to Pandas. And first chart that we're going to do is bar chart, and we will see number of videos we have per category. For that, we will actually create this and px.bar. So that's the bar chart that we're going to use. And for this, we will use group by, and we'll group by on category name. And then count the video ID. Not count, not reset index. Okay, so after that we will name X axis as category name and Y as video ID. video ID count. And then we'll label, do the labeling, and for that okay, sorry, I think we can do that while labeling. So video ID is going to be number of videos, and category name category, and we will give it as a title that number of trending videos per category. Okay, so I think that's it for the px.bar, and next thing that we're going to do is fig.show. Okay, so great. As you can see here, we have number of trending videos per category, and we have most number of trending videos in entertainment, and then we have in music, and then people and blogs, and the news and politics. And if we look at travel and events have got lesser, it's interesting, and movies have got lesser, so it's interesting. And of course, like entertainment, I think movies also can be clubbed to entertainment, so that's how it's more. Entertainment has got the most number of videos, the trending ones. So this is actually like much better than going through the whole data, and the visualization really helps. So we have used Plotly, which is great. And next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a scatter plot. So this is going to be like versus views, and we'll use fig2, and it's going to be px.scatter, and we'll use the data frame, and x is going to be like count, and y is going to be view count. Okay, and title is going to be likes versus views. Comma, and trend line is going to be, we'll use OLS. Okay, so I think we are done with the framing that part, and then we'll use fig2.show to see the scatter plot. Okay, so if you look at the scatter plot, view count, like count, so when the like number increases, so we can see the positive relationship. So when the view increases, the likes also goes higher. So which is obvious when there are actually more likes also going up, then views also go up. So yeah, there's nothing surprising here. So next thing, so after actually having two visualizations done, now what we're going to do is actually we will create a simplified ML demo. So we'll create a model, a very simple model to actually learn how it works, and then we will using Scikit. So for this, we will actually use Scikit-learn model selection. We'll import train test split, and next thing that we're going to do is Scikit-learn ensemble forest classifier, and we'll also import plotly graph objects as cheapo. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll have to first define target. So the target is viral if we have views more than 100,000. So how we'll define that is actually we'll define a new column df viral, and we will write if the view count is more than 100,000, and we will give it a type int. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is we'll convert publish time column, so the column name is publish underscore time column to date time. So for this df publish time, and we'll use pd.to date time and use df publish time, and the format that we are going to use is, we can use the standard one, just a little bit why. Okay, so here we have D and T, FC, and if okay, error squares. Okay, so now let's try to let's see how it looks. So yes, we have publish time now in date format with all the timestamp and everything. So it looks good. We have like YYYMMDD. Okay, and we have this viral new column, which actually gives the integer value, whether it's a viral or not. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we'll use this publish time again, because publish time of the video is also important to see if it affects the virality or not. So for that, we'll actually extract different things like date, hour, and day of week from publish time column. So how we are going to do is, okay, we have it already prompted. So publish date is going to be publish time.dt.date, and publish hour is going to be publish time.dt.hour, and then publish day of week is going to be publish time.dt.day of week. So which is great. So here we have date, and here we have hour, and here we have day. Okay, and now what we are going to do is we'll have, because title length is also like something that we're actually checking. So we will actually create, because we don't have a title length column, and also we miss title length and tag count. So it's like the number of tags. So we'll check both of these, and because it's missing, so create missing features. So that's what we're going to do. So create this missing feature. So how we're going to do is we'll actually title length is going to be df title dot fill NA if there are any missing, and then apply length. Okay, and then we will actually check the tag count. Tag count is going to be df tags. So if there are any missing ones, we'll apply this, and then we will apply lambda function. Zero if there aren't any tags. Else we'll split and we'll calculate the length. Split based on this character. Okay, so here we should have number of tags, and here we have length of title. Okay, so now let's try to display def dot okay, maybe okay. So here we have title, we have like title length, and then tag count. So the next thing is, after taking into all these features into account, now we need to create a model. We need to train. So for that we will actually list all the features that we are going to look for. Like I mentioned, title length, and then tag count, published hour, yes, and then a like count. Let's say like count. What else? Comment count, yes, comment count. So for now, let's use 5 of this. Sorry, it's actually 5 of this: title length, tag count, publish hour, like count, and comment count. Okay, and after this we will actually take them as df features x, and then y is going to be df viral, because we need to see if these features affect the virality or not, right? So that's why we need to actually we have assigned f, x, and y like that. And now we will train our test split. So how we will do is we'll use x train, x test, y train, y test equal to train test split of x, y test size equal to 0.2, and random state equal to 42. So this is what we are gonna train and test, and after that we will create a model. Model part. So here the model is equal to random. We'll use the forest classifier, random forest classifier, and an estimator is going to be 50, and again random state 42. Okay, so model.fit will fit this X train and Y train. Okay, and so now we need to know which features are important, right? The features importance is actually something that we are looking for. So we'll actually create a new data frame. So with pd.dataframe, and here we are with feature as features, yes, and the importance is actually model.feature importances, and then we will sort values importance ascending equal to false. So we know like which values are important in that order. So now I think it's time we can actually see that in a bar chart. So we'll importances x equal to importance y feature orientation h title feature. So which let's title in a way that is more readable. So which features matter most for YouTube virality. Now let's use the Fig3 show to see how it turns out. Okay, so we have a warning. This analysis created new attribute name. And here we are, it ran with this warning, but we get the bar chart, and here we have it, which features matter most for virality. And here if you look at the X, we have title length, okay, X train, we have these columns, importances, feature and importance. Okay, great. And if you look here, it says that publish hour doesn't matter much, which I think is also yes, true. And like, because if it has really great comment count and like count, it's more important, and actually then it says that the video is going to be viral. And the title length, I don't think it's actually an important feature. Even the tag count, I think the publish hour matter more, but the data says that actually the title length and tag count feature matter more than the publish hour. And the comment count and like count, which of course everyone would agree that they actually like matter the most for YouTube virality. So I think we have actually kind of like reached the end of this video, or actually I mean like where you can see that we have now a model created, a sample model with the data that we had from the CSVs. And of course you can add more features, and we can add like more, we can make use of more columns from these. So this was just giving an example to show like how this model can be made, or how more analytics can be done, because this was meant to be a small project and not using advanced machine learning. So this is how it has it looks now. And yeah, I think this is actually, that's it then. So we, in this project, what we have done is actually we took a data set from Kaggle, and then we stored it into Databricks storage, Unity catalog, and then after that we actually loaded that data to the data frame, combined them because we had like CSVs from different countries, and later we did some cleaning, like cleaned up that date field, which was actually in a string format, and also like the format didn't have YYY, I mean like the year in 4 characters, or the standard format it didn't have. So we tried to convert that, and we added few more columns, and then we selected those columns which we require. Of course we selected more, but we can of course make use of more columns in this training model, and also we can make more visualizations to see the data, how it looks and what kind of data we have. So, and then we using Scikit, we did a very small model to see like which features matter YouTube virality more. So I hope you like this project, and if you wish to have more projects like this, please let me know in comments. So I think that's it. Thank you. Thanks for watching.